The Zpacks Triplex is weighing in at 24.9 ounces. The Ultimid 2 with the full insert with the Dyneema floor is weighing in at 41.6 ounces. Alright, I backed the truck up to the field here so I have a platform to video out of, because I want to video down onto the tents, because I'm going to set both of them up side by side, and I figured I'd get a little better perspective looking down on it. Now these are two tents that are plenty big enough for two people, so we're going to take a look at the Zpacks Triplex and the Hyperlite Ultamid 2 side by side. We'll get some measurements, put some sleeping pads in it, and get an idea of the size. There's the Triplex and the Ultimid side by side, and let me get this set up on a tripod, and hopefully I can keep everything in the same frame while I'm just getting some overall measurements. So and we'll grab some sleeping pads and throw them in there too, just so you can see. And I left the insert out of the Hyperlite to start here. I left the insert out. I'll put the sleeping pads in there without the insert, and then I'll put the insert in, and then we'll put the sleeping pads in, just so you can get an idea of both ways. So, as far as ease of setup, I would say these two pieces are about the same when it comes to setting these up. Yeah, they take about the same amount of time. Okay, there's two sleeping pads in the Triplex right now. Now these are regular length, 25-inch wide sleeping pads. A bigger door on your side, so it's easier to film in here than it is on the Ultimid. But as you can see, plenty of room. I'm not hitting anything. Stretch straight out. Again, toes are pointed straight out. 5'11" and not hitting anything. Sitting up, not hitting anything. So, and you get a second person in here. There's plenty of room for your packs at the bottom, or you can hang them, of course, right off your poles, which we do a lot, is just hang it right off the pole there, so it's not on the ground, but it's still protected from half the vestibule coming over. So, you know, it's called the Triplex for three people, and in a pinch, sure, but as far as a legitimate two-person tent, this is perfect for two people, and at 25 ounces, it's perfect. So it's definitely an awesome tent, great tent. Been loving it so far, and we'll always continue to use it. Here's the Ultimid 2 with the same two pads, 25 by 72 inside, and you can see there is a lot of room in here. So let's go ahead and throw the insert in, and we'll get a better view of what it looks like comparable to the Triplex. Here's what it looks like with those two sleeping pads. Again, 25 by 72, and the insert inside the Ultimid 2. As you can see, there's quite a bit of room in here also. Plenty of room for packs. This is pitched at the suggested height of 64 inches, but just in playing with it and setting it up, I've set it up lower than that. Again, by about 2 inches, usually on average. Gives a little more floor space. Doesn't make the walls so high. Of course, in the freezing winter, you're going to want that, but you know, on a summer's night, it's nice to have the walls down a little bit and let the air flow through a little more. So Alright, here's just a quick shot. Laying down in here. You can see there's quite a bit of room to stretch out. I can go from, I'm 5'11", and I can pretty much stretch right out and not touch end to end. Side by side, the HMG looks huge compared to the Triplex, but the Ultimid is higher, so it gives it a much more substantial look, and it really, the footprint is smaller than the Triplex. So you're looking at about 8.5 feet by 9 foot with the Triplex, and you're looking at 7 by 9 with the HMG. So the versatility of the HMG Ultamid 2 is, there's much more versatility to it than the Triplex. On those warm nights, you can have just the insert pitched with just the bug net and leave the fly off, and you know, if it's a rainy, cold night, put the fly on, batten it all down, and be completely dry. And if it's a very windy night, mids hold up great to high winds. This tent, very dry, used it in lots of rain, works great. A little bit of condensation once in a while, but I don't know, I don't have a lot of condensation issues with the Triplex. And I'm in very humid, wet weather, so I don't know. I see a lot of reviews of people getting a lot of condensation. Yes, there is condensation. Carry a towel and just wipe it down. I don't know what I don't see a big issue with that at all. And you know, this tent is spot on. It's probably the best tent for what it's intended for, and that's long distance hikes where every ounce you want to shave off, and the lightest possible tent that you can do, and it pitches so easy and so fast. So right now, I like both of these tents. I really like them both. I'm not recommending one over the other. They're both awesome tents. I mean, I think the Zpacks Duplex and Triplex are just, they're amazing. It's just an amazing tent, and the Ultimid is amazing. I'm kind of leaning toward using the Ultimid more as my go-to tent. I think after using it one time and just playing with it and getting the feel for what it is and how it works, and the versatility of it is a big deal to me. So just being able to leave the fly off on a warm, dry night is great, and being able to carry the same tent that you just carried in the desert right up on top of a mountain, you know, it's great. And I will be using that as my go-to tent, and I will continue to use the Triplex. These are going to be my only 2 tents real soon. This is it. I won't be using probably any other tents on my trips unless I just wanted to test something and mess around with it. But as far as I think I've found, I guess, my ultimate setup with this Ultimid, and I really like it. So unless something happens to it again, it's only been used one night on one trip, and you know, there's a lot left to test on this. But as far as ease of setup, you know, the footprint's a little big, but you're getting 2 people comfortable, so the footprints are going to be a little bigger than 2 people crammed in, say, like a Nemo Hornet or something like that, where you're basically 2 people in there and you're touching, and all your gear is out in your vestibule. That's pretty much how it rolls with those. So these 2 tents right here, 2 people can sprawl out and bring your gear in and be comfortable. So you know, and on the last trip, the bugs were so bad with the Triplex, we even cooked inside of it. So we just You know, the vestibules were open, just laid everything out in there and cooked in it, and had a peaceful dinner without the bugs chewing us alive. So, you know, there's something to be said for having enough room to be comfortable and not just worrying about weight. Right. There's the Ultimid 2 insert with the 2 pads in it. So that's the versatility I'm talking about. You can leave that fly rate off if you want. So, you know, you can either have a single wall tent or a double wall tent or just the net. It's the versatility is unbeatable. That about wraps it up as far as just the comparisons, just to give you an idea of the size. Hopefully that helped anybody that had any questions about the size. Those pads, again, they're 25 by 72. And as far as the pole goes, I don't use the 2 straps that Hyperlite sells. I do have another video. I just made a little pole modification, and I use my 2 trekking poles instead of the bands to go around. I use a little insert piece. I made another video on it, and just to I don't know, just save. I think it's easier this way, and I don't have a special pole for it. They do recommend for heavy winter use. I think they recommend the Rotolicore pole for the winter time, the 710, to withstand heavier snow loads and wind loads. So I will be getting that for the winter, but for the meantime, for the other 3 seasons, I'll definitely just be using the little pole mod I made to connect my 2 poles together instead of using the 2 straps. Seems to be working great, and it's only an ounce, so can't go wrong with that. You know, if things turn out the way that I think they will with this tent, it will probably be, like I said, my favorite tent, my go-to tent for 90% of what I do. I don't do long distance trails. I, at some point plan on doing some longer trails, and look forward to that day when it does happen, hopefully soon. But for my current situation and what I use, this tent is definitely gonna be my go-to tent. So if you have any questions, please leave them below.